is my GOAT for obvious reasons. The only reason you can keep him out of number one is his out-of-octagon issues, which is fair enough. But Demetrius Johnson, okay, and Amanda Nunes, my other GOAT, my other Mount Rushmore, beat every other woman who held the title in dramatic fashion. Every name worth mentioning that she could have fought, she fought, and she beat them. And most of the time wiped them out. Only Valentina Shevchenko had fights you could consider close. She wrecked everybody. So that's why she's on my Mount Rushmore. Here's what holds Demetrius Johnson back. Let's go over the accomplishments of a fantastic fighter. Most consecutive title defenses in UFC history. That's amazing, right? Most wins in the flyweight. He owns every record in the flyweight division. All of them. All of them, right? Most UFC flyweight title fights, most wins in the flyweight division, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I could go on and on and on about his accomplishments in flyweight because he owns all of them. Most submissions in UFC flyweight history. Most total fight time in UFC flyweight history. Every single record, he pretty much owns it. So the only thing that holds him back is the name value at 125 when he was there just wasn't very good. It just was not. One of the things I look at, when you look at a boxer, when you look at a mixed martial artist, any kind of fighter, how many people did they beat that we will be talking about in 10 or 15 years? 20, right? Something like Sugar Ray Robinson, Sugar Ray Leonard, right? You know, Muhammad Ali, et cetera, et cetera. We talk about the guys they beat with reverence, right? You talk about Tommy Hearns to this day as an all-time great fighter. Sugar Ray Leonard knocked him out, right? Sugar Ray Robinson beat more Hall of Famers than any other boxer in history. He just did, right? Beat Jake LaMotta, 5 times? Right? Gene Fulmer, Carmine Basilio, right? Beat everybody, right? Randy Turpin, great fighter. So this idea that we're talking about the guys he beat with reverence. Muhammad Ali beat more Hall of Famers, I think, than any other heavyweight. It was insane how many Hall of Famers he beat. You know, Joe Frazier, legends, right? Like Ken Norton and Joe Frazier, right? George Foreman, the legends that he beat. Sonny Liston was an incredible fighter. So the problem with DJ is he has the length, right? He was at the top for a long time. Won the title in 2012. Doesn't lose again until 2018 against Henry Cejudo. Does good things at 1. Remember, that was a weight class up in 1. They didn't have a 25 division, so he was fighting at 35, I think. Yeah, they have a 35 title there, and only has 1 loss there, and he avenged that one, by the way. So he had a really long run at the top. But when I look at, and the way he beat them, which is my other criteria, how did he look beating them? Looked fantastic. His skill set was incredible. One of the most complete skill sets in MMA history. Why? You need a complete skill set to do anything under 155, right? Even 55, they're really well-rounded, but there were certain guys back in the day who, you know, maybe Sean Sherk didn't have the best freaking striking in the world, but he could wrestle and he had great ground and pound and was able to win a title with it. The idea that 25 and 35, 45, you just have to be able to do everything because they're small, they're fast, you can't hold the guy down for that long, they scramble really, really well. He had the most complete game in a division that required a really complete game. The ability to get that highlight reel, oh my God, did I just see that finish, which is part of his brand. Kyoji Horiguchi, he submitted him with 1 second left in the fight, right? The suplex straight into armbar. The things he did were just highlight reel incredible. So he has the length, right? 5-year run of victories. He beat guys in dramatic fashion. It was highlight reel stuff. His skill set was unbelievably complete. Could do everything. But when you look at the names, Ray Borg, Wilson Hayes, Tim Elliott, Henry Cejudo, that's a big name. We'll get back to that in a second. Kyoji Horiguchi, pretty good. He did some things in Bellator and did some stuff in Ryzen. Joseph Benavidez is on his list twice. The problem with Joseph Benavidez is he's known for being the guy who couldn't win a title. He had 4 opportunities, lost all of them. So he just doesn't have the names of like a GSP, a John Jones, an Anderson Silva, where you have the legends, right? like Dan Henderson, Rich Franklin, the legends of 205. John Jones has 5 or 6 of them. They're going to be in the Hall of Fame for their individual accomplishments. GSP, the run he went through is absolutely incredible. Fedor, the run he went through is absolutely incredible. When you look at 125, they just didn't have, I don't think we're going to be talking about any of these names in 10 or 15 years. I don't think anyone's going to go, hey, remember Ray Borg, right? Remember Wilson Hayes? Wilson Hayes is a good fighter, excellent ground game. But it's this idea where I don't think we're going to be talking about these guys in that legendary 15, 20-year stretch. I don't think we're talking about these guys. And that's what holds DJ back. Is that his fault? No. He had nothing to do with that. What can he do? Can't make the division better on his own. Also, the idea that if there was one fighter, you said you can have this guy's skill set, DJ would be near the top of the list. There's nothing the guy couldn't do at all. It wasn't because of his size. Yeah, he was strong, but not exceptionally. Plenty of guys that size are strong. He didn't have any of the physical gifts. You go, oh my God. He was just really, really, really good. He was fast, but a lot of 25ers are fast. So as far as if you could say you could have this guy's skill set for the rest of your life, DJ would be one of those guys who go, man, I want to fight like him. Incredible skill set. But the names weren't there. That hurts him. And what sucks even more to me as a fan, the UFC got rid of him right when 25 got interesting. Right when it really took off, he wasn't there. People don't remember, most of the time. He beat Henry Cejudo. It was a rematch, so they're 1-1. A lot of people act like Henry Cejudo kind of kicked him out of the UFC. They were 1-1. Henry Cejudo wins. TJ Dillashaw went down to 25 to basically end the division. And Cejudo beats him, squashes him. 25 keeps going. Cejudo goes up to 35. They give 25 another shot, and it sticks around. Can you imagine if DJ had stuck around? I think they probably have a trilogy, Henry Cejudo. Let's say, for argument's sake, that he wins. I do think he beats TJ Dillashaw. So you have that, and this idea to me that, he goes on to be part of a 25 mix that is really, really impressive. And he missed out on that opportunity. Now, the other side of it. When Dana White said recently, man, I was a big advocate for DJ, and people were criticizing him because he traded him to ONE FC for Ben Askren. And, hey, why'd you keep him around if he was so great? Folks, I've been on both sides of this, meaning I've never been a promoter, right? Thank God. But I've been around a lot of promoters. And their thing is always, hey, look, with Bellator, with the Legends fights, hey, if our top guys who kicked ass were getting great numbers, we'd show them. But Tito Ortiz versus Stephan Bonner gets better numbers. The fact that we have half a dozen guys that beat both of them doesn't really matter. And I've been around these conversations of I don't like putting on Kimbo Slice versus Ken Shamrock any more than you do, but it's what people want to watch. Same deal with DJ. I do believe that Dana White believed he was a great fighter. But when I put him out there and you don't watch him, I'm going to put on someone who does. And Ben Askren, going 1-2 in the UFC, got more juice and more recognition and more eyeballs than Demetrius Johnson did kicking ass in 1. No promoter ever gets rich telling people what to watch. They find out what people want to watch and they give it to them. If you want to watch CM Punk, all right, I'll put him out there. You want to watch James Toney? Okay, I'll put him out there. Right? Well, I'm saying it's good, but it's not my job to tell you what's good. It's my job to give you what you want and make money. And I think the frustration for Dana is he knew how good DJ was, but DJ wasn't making money, and that's not my problem. What do you want me to do? And so at the time, what sucks is I believe there was a reevaluation of 25 right then. Now, I couldn't tell you why. I really thought when Henry Cejudo went up to 35, that was it for 125. As soon as he went up to 35, I was like, all right, they're going to kill the division. I thought TJ Dillashaw was supposed to kill the division, which he was. And Henry Cejudo, moving up to 35, would do the same thing. Just kind of abandon 25. And Brandon Moreno and Davison Figueiredo had a great series of fights that kind of kept the division somewhat relevant. It's still not a marquee division in the UFC, but it's still around. And DJ would have been a great part of that. That, to me, is kind of a tragedy. A big part of Demetrius Johnson's legacy, whether you like it or not, is that he did his best work when 125 just wasn't getting a lot of eyeballs. And when 125 did get a lot of eyeballs and started becoming interesting, I will say, not marquee, not, a pay-per-view seller all on its own, but when it started getting more eyeballs, he was gone. And when I look at his list for the undefeated 5 years of his career, he destroyed fighters. It was entertaining every time what he did. The names aren't there. And when we look at his run, his skill set is almost without parallel in MMA history. But the names aren't there like they are for John Jones, like they are for GSP, like they are for Anderson Silva, like they are for Amanda Nunes. They're not there. And that's the one thing that hurts his legacy more than anything else. But he was a great fighter. You can't get around that at all. On my list, my top 10, I go John Jones, Anderson Silva, GSP, Amanda Nunes, Khabib, Jose Aldo. Then I put Demetrius Johnson. Love me or hate me, I put him at number 7 all time. That's where I put him. Anyway, let me know what you think in the comment section. Feel free to completely disagree with what I'm saying and put him so much higher, but let me know where you think he is all time and why I'm wrong. Thank you.